As-salamu Aleikum. Hope you're doing well, inshallah. Today is going to be a little bit of a chit chat, so grab a beverage if you'd like and let's talk, inshallah. The funny thing is that I was planning to film this video when I turned 30 and somehow here I am now at 33, finally sitting down to film this. I think what happened was when I turned 30, it was right around the time when COVID started and shutdowns happened, and then I had to figure out finishing my degree remotely, and there was so much going on that 30 passed, came and went, and I didn't really feel it. So yeah, and interestingly, I felt 33 a lot more, not really because of COVID and everything happening, but I felt that 33 had much more of a meaning behind it, if that makes sense. I'll explain why. Because when I turned 33, so I turned 33 last Ramadan, so I'm about to turn 34. I am filming this before another year passes. Yeah, so I just kept getting messages throughout the year reminding me about this number 33, specifically about 33 being the age of people in Jannah. And so I heard it in different things that I was attending in class, in different sessions, in watching lectures. I felt that this message kept coming up to me for whatever reason it was all of last year, just before turning 33, through Ramadan. After that, I just kept hearing this, and so I felt that 33 carried more meaning to it and more depth to it than other years. It also felt special turning that number that had meaning, and it was Ramadan also, and all of that. So I don't know, I felt 33 more. May Allah make us people of Jannah, ya Rab, ya Rab, ya Rab. So yeah, so that's why I felt it more. Anyways, so I have 33 lessons written down. I tried to make them very short because I don't want to make this video 2 hours long. So inshallah, let's just jump right into it. So number one, place Allah at the core of your heart. Everything else should be on the outskirts, on the peripherals, but Allah should be the core. And subhanallah, you will find so much more peace when you do that because you're grounded. Allah is there, is permanent, doesn't change, His qualities, everything, it doesn't change. Everything else in your life changes, whether it's possessions, people, whatever it is. So if you keep those on the outskirts, then and not necessarily at the core, then you're not shaken as much when things happen and so on in your life because you have Allah at the core, who is permanent, doesn't change, and is there and present. And subhanAllah, you just feel more grounded and more peace. So place Allah at the core. Number two, accept your imperfections. None of us are perfect, and imagine if we were all perfect, then we would pretty much all be the same and it would be boring. So embrace your imperfections. That's what makes you you. That's what makes you unique. Embrace it. Inshallah, you are perfect the way Allah has created you. Embrace any flaws that you have. Inshallah, of course, that doesn't mean don't strive to grow and learn, of course, but embrace, those flaws that you have or those imperfections that you have. Number three, hold on to your prayers. These 5 mandatory prayers, make them pillars in your day that don't move. Everything else revolve around it. And again, inshallah, you will find balance and purpose and peace in your life by doing that. Prayer is a gift to us. It is not a burden. So uphold them, inshallah. Number 4, it really doesn't matter. It just really doesn't matter. Most of the things we worry about, it just really doesn't matter. A year from now, it doesn't matter. So don't worry too much about things. Number 5, we all have the same ending in this dunya. At the end of the day, none of us are taking our possessions with us, our things with us, whatever it is with us. We all end up in the same place. We're all going back to the ground. And so remind yourself of that and humble yourself with that as well. Don't look down upon others. Don't think that you're better than anyone because of anything that you may have. Just remember that we all have the same ending. We all came from the same place and we all have the same ending in this dunya. Number 6, you don't need to respond. Not everything needs a response. Sometimes it's best to just stay silent and not say anything. And just protect your energy and your time. And speaking of time, number 7, time spent critiquing others is better spent on improving yourself. Don't spend time looking for others' flaws and faults and calling them out and all of this when you could be spending that time on actually improving yourself and focusing on yourself. Inshallah, that time is better spent. Number 8, the fear of failure holds people back more than failure itself does. Don't be afraid to try something. Don't be afraid to take that step, inshallah. When you try, there is a chance that you might succeed. When you don't try at all, then you are guaranteed to not succeed. So just try. Take that step, inshallah. Take a little step. Number 9, don't spend from what you don't have. Be moderate. Spend within your means, inshallah. Number 10, setting boundaries. Setting boundaries is okay. This is one I am constantly working on because I always want to be nice and generous to people, and so that puts me in situations where I just say yes and yes and yes and yes, and then it's at the expense of myself, my time, my energy, my this and that, my sleep, and all of that. It's okay to set boundaries. Being nice and respectful to others shouldn't be at the expense of yourself, meaning you're not being nice and respectful to yourself as well. So remember to also be nice and kind and generous to yourself as well. Take care of yourself, set boundaries. It's okay to say no. You don't have to say yes to everything, and you can still be kind and have boundaries. Number 11, don't overplace expectations on others. I don't know if overplace is a word, but I'm just trying to say don't overdo it with the expectations that you place on others. Because sometimes we set high expectations of other people, and then when they don't meet those expectations, we are so disappointed and upset. So give space for people to have flaws, to have shortcomings, and this ties it back to number 1. If you have Allah at the core, and He is the main one you are relying on, as opposed to relying on others, then you are less likely to be disappointed, inshallah, because Allah does not leave you disappointed. So if He is your main relier, as opposed to other people, you'll find more peace, inshallah. Number 12, keep learning, remain a student, try to keep learning and learning and learning. Don't stop learning. Number 13, don't react when angry. Number 14, be comfortable in silence. Be comfortable in being solo and having time on your own. You don't always have to be doing something and active, and be comfortable in those slow moments in silence, in peace. Speaking of which, number 15, stop scrolling. Be present. Even in silence, in your solo time, you don't always have to be connected to the digital world. The digital world can really suck us in, and suddenly 10 years have passed and we don't know where the 10 years went because we were so sucked in to the digital world. So stop scrolling, try to be present in the present moment, and take it slow, inshallah. Number 16, better done than perfect. Not everything has to be perfect. Again, it's still something I'm constantly working on. It doesn't always have to be perfect when you do things. It's better to get it done than to get stuck trying to get it to perfection and then never get it done. Number 17, admit when you're wrong. Number 18, don't stop being grateful about the little things. Try to always recognize those little moments in your days that you are grateful for and express that gratitude, inshallah. You don't have to be going through a big, huge thing to feel grateful or to express gratitude to Allah or to others and so on. Just find those little things. Don't stop being grateful about those little things. Don't get used to what you have. Just continuously try to be grateful about the little things. Number 19, be gentle with your parents. They are humans too. Be kind, be respectful, be gentle with them. Number 20, in every delay there is potentially a blessing. Accept Allah's plan, inshallah. When things come at the time that you want, alhamdulillah for those things, and when things don't come at the time that you want, alhamdulillah for Allah's timing. Recognize that there may be a blessing in that delay that you are not aware of. Number 21, just be yourself. Simple. Number 22, money isn't everything. Don't make that your focus. Number 23, don't be afraid to ask questions. Ask when you don't understand something. Ask when you need assistance. Ask when you would like a prayer space. Just ask for these things. Number 24, plan for the future, but don't forget your permanent future. So plan for this dunya so that you're prepared for this dunya, but don't forget your permanent life in the akhirah. Try to use this dunya as a stepping stone for your next life, inshallah. Number 25, forgive. Forgive others as you hope to be forgiven by Allah. Number 26, talk less, listen more. Number 27, be kind. There's enough harshness in this world. Be kind. Number 28, focus on pleasing Allah first as opposed to pleasing people. You want to be pleasing Allah first. So make sure that that is always aligned when you are doing things for others, when you're pleasing others, and so on. You want to make sure that it is aligned with pleasing Allah first. You don't want to be pleasing others at the expense of displeasing Allah. Number 29, everyone has a story that you don't know. So have compassion for others. Number 30, give more than you take. Number 31, you can either become bitter or better as a result of your circumstances. That is your choice. And speaking of which, number 32, you are strong enough to handle it. Allah tells us He doesn't burden us with more than we can bear. So whatever you have been through, whatever you are going through, whatever you will go through, know that you are strong enough to handle it. The one who created you knows that you are strong enough to handle it, so know that you are strong enough to handle it. And number 33, age is just a number. Don't expect to have things figured out or in a certain way by a certain age. It's just not the case. When I was younger, I used to think that, oh, people in their 30s have their life together and all set and everything, but it's really not the case. We're still trying to figure our stuff out. So if you are younger, then that is a message for you. Don't expect to have things figured out by a certain age. It's okay. Go with the flow. Don't set those expectations and then disappointment for yourself. If you have these targets by a certain age or certain things by a certain age, or yeah, it's just, life happens. Alhamdulillah for everything. It's just a number, so don't expect to have it all figured out by a specific age. And that's it. I hope that you found this beneficial, inshallah. And until next time, As-salamu Aleikum.